morning, people. This is a special announcement from your sponsor, Brodiferous Products. Are you trying to make your beard grow stronger, thicker, curlier? Try Brodiferous Beard Products. Guaranteed to make your hair stand on end. Or try tuning into the morning show. If it doesn't make your hair stand up, nothing will. Morning, Michael Superbacker. Nice to see you here this morning with the big thumbs up. You're rocking the biggest thumbs up this morning, my man. Right on. Just getting into the bro zone here this morning with you folks. Getting ready to have a little fun. Friend, your friend Brody at the command zone in the land zone. How are you folks doing today? Just got myself a fresh cup of coffee. Hope the audio is all right. Who we got in the house? Fish Games is in the house. Nice to see you here, Mr. Fish. Glad you can make it over. Good morning, everybody. It's Brody. It's Monday. I hope you had a fun weekend. A little bit of a long one here. It's been Family Day. We had Family Day weekend here in Canada. I got to dust off my card sorting shenanigans and get back to what we do here on the stock desk. Checking the prices of Magic. Do you like checking the prices of Magic cards? Is there enough information out there, or is there too much information? Is there too much madness in the world of Magic the cards? Are you sick of it? Well, you've landed here, folks, on the channel in the morning. We're going to give you the first dose of Magic the Gathering you're going to get today. Thank you for joining me. It's February 21st, 2023. I'm the Brody. You know what we do. I'm going to start off here this morning. We're just going to warm up nice and slow, nice and easy here this morning. We're going to do, got a cup of coffee. Got it ready, handy, rolling. Roll that cup of coffee. Let's give some shout outs to friends who tuned in over the weekend. I did a couple of card sorting videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Michael Superbacker, Richie Dubs, Fish Games in the house, Twiddler, and none other than my man, Mr. Michael Superbacker. Here's what we're going to do. I know your time is important today. You don't have time to waste. There's no time to lose, and you choose to spend it here. So it's near and it's dear to my heart. Let's start. Let's get to those great, fantastic Magic card arts. Whoa. Johan Matuzzi's in the house. All the way from Sweden. Thanks for joining. How you doing? I'm doing better now that you're here. I hope I hope tire change season is over and you're in the clear to join us here this morning. Johan, a shout out to you all the way in Sweden. Thanks a bunch. Patron Johan Matuzzi for joining us here this morning. This show goes out to you. Now, I know your time is valuable, Johan. I know it's worth more than all the reserve list cards can buy. So we're not going to waste it. We're going to warm up a little bit. Can almost taste it. A little bit of AI generating Magic cards. Just going to have a little sip of coffee and arrive with you folks today. If there's any gibberish on the card, you know the rules. If there's any gibberish on the card, we fail it. We get it out of here right now. It has no time, no play. But if it's playable in any way, shape, or form, playable any day of the week in any kind of format, we must give it a peek. Let's go. Starting off with this card, Sundering Skebemus. Sundering Skebemus. Sundering Skebemus? Summoning Skebmis costs 0. It's a snow enchantment. 0 mana, snow enchantment. Mill 3, scry 1 for 0. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee and think about this one. I want to give this a pass, folks. I do. I want to give this a pass, but all right, let's pass it. I don't think that's a problem whatsoever. I don't think that's a problem whatsoever. Mill 3, scry 1 for 0. It costs you a card out of your hand, though, right? It's not free. So it does cost something. I would give this a pass. Let's do it. What do you think? Sundering Skibemus. It's cheap. Cost 0. It's also snow enchantment. Look at the art on this sucker here. We'll take a look. Oh man, look at that sunrise. That's what I look at. See, and people ask me, they're like, Brody, why do you live in the north? Right? Ugh. I like, and there's all kinds of magic shows out there, right? I think there's Up North Games, Wizards of the North, True North Games, and there's a lot of North references in Magic. But I challenge anybody to travel this far north. You'll see sunsets and sunrises like this. It's a thing of beauty. There's actually an area up here called Blue Sky, and the sky's like the color of my shirt during the day, and it's awesome. Like the art on this, it reminds me of just waking up. Except this would be like 11 a.m., right? This is like an 11 a.m. sunrise. This ain't early. This is like late because it's usually dark. All right, check it out. Ooh, a planes. Hey, look, a planes. Did anybody hear we're getting new invocation or invention frames for the legendaries? Anybody hear that? We're getting new showcase borders for the legendaries, and some legendary creatures are getting them. I like this card. The plains, it's kind of got a creepy look to it. It's like a cathedral or like a building downtown. Doesn't really say plains though. Do you see a plains anywhere on it? I don't know. Can we pass this? That's a tough call. Any one of you tells me this isn't a plains, I'll fail it right now. Benson. Benson. Benson's here. My friendson, Benson. How you doing, buddy? Does anybody agree this is not a plains? It's got birds. Maybe those are gargoyles. I think I want to fail this card. I haven't failed a land yet. It's like from New Capenna. Right. Right. Okay. Michael Superbacker's willing to give it. See, we're always willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, right? We're not like totally heartless over here. But it has to make sense. Like it can't just be like a picture of a bowling alley that says mountain. Like it should be a citadel. All right. Okay, well, we'll come back to it. Let's get to Michael. Michael says it's like the streets of New Capenna plains. We'll take it. I like it. Let's go. Next card up here, we got Teleporter of Deliver. Wow. Okay, we will bring this sucker up because it's got some stats here, right? Teleporter of Deliver. I wonder if it could be like Teleporter of Delver. Look at this card, eh? All right. Cost you 7 for a 3/3. Ooh, that's getting pricey. Legendary creature cleric. Okay, so it fills the party mechanic. Evolve. When you draw your second card each turn, draw a card. Holy moly. When you draw your second card. And then, whenever Teleporter of Deliver attacks, each other player may put 3+1/+1 counters on target creature. Whoa. I like this. 7 mana to give your friends some benefits here of putting +1/+1 counters on their stuff. Each other player may put counters on anything. So it looks like there's some folks here reaching out to the teleporter deliver. I gotta pass this card. This thing is boss. This is a heck of a magic card. Wow. All right, a little stretched on I guess that's what the evolve mechanic is, right? No, it doesn't really say what evolve is. Yeah. Hey, Fish is here. Hey, buddy. I think I said that. Okay, let's bring it to this guy here. That last one was all right. Wow, I gotta have a little sip of coffee. I can't. Can you believe that? Teleporter deliver? That's an insane magic card. Grammondijin, Artifact Spirit, 1/2. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Grammondijin, exile target permanent. Huh? Whenever heroic. Creature spells you cast cost 3 less to cast. 1 blue and 4. I think it's starting to realize the mechanics that people like. The upside. So we're starting to see some heavy upside on a lot of these creatures in these days. All right, heroic. What do you think of the Grammondijin? It seems fine. It's a spirit. This could be 3 in a row. Holy smokes. We're starting off on a random Tuesday. I had a good card sorting video yesterday with you folks yesterday. Michael Superbackers from Boston. We got Johan Matuzzi from Sweden. We got Benson from, where did you say yesterday? You are in, oh man, I'm gapping out here. Where are you from again this morning, Benson? Where are you coming in from? Connecticut? I want to say Connecticut. Had people from all over yesterday. I'm just trying to get to know you guys just a little better. Fish, where are you from? I need to know. I need to know. Remind me in the comment section. Who are we talking with this morning? People from all over, the viewers. We gotta give this card a pass. This card seems fine. You want some Gremmondijin in your life? You can get it here, folks. New York City. I love those barbecue sauce commercials, and you probably hate this and you get it a lot, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's my show. This stuff was made in New York City. New York City? I love that. This stuff's made in New York City. I like the Dijin. Nesting. Okay, let's go to this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is out of control. Oh, the fish is from New York City. Holy smokes, folks. Ain't it pretty? New York. Exactly. See, Michael knows what I'm talking about. He's like, New York City? New York City. Great commercial. Nevertheless, I digress. Let's get back to Magic here this morning. The folks. Okay, so we got folks from Sweden, New York City, Boston, Mile Zero with the Alaska Highway. We got folks from all over the place. Twiddlers in the house. Richie Dubs, Connecticut. All right, Richie. We got people from all over the place. Thanks for joining us. Don't have to be too specific, but it's kind of nice to get to know where everybody's tuning in from. Nesting Woe Fuel. Star Mahud Monk. Crazy. I know I'm scared to read it, but the art on it looks pretty good. It's Samurai Mahunk Rogue, legendary creature. Okay, we got a red. One, let's just count pips here. I mean, where are we gonna start? There's somewhere we gotta start here. 1, 2, 3. I think it looks like 8, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9. This is 9 mana, and it's a lot of mana, and it's all the colors. But hey, it's not blue and it's not black, so it could be a decent commander. The grouping on the color pips doesn't make sense. So we got like, look at this guy, Nesting Woe Fuel. We haven't even got to the creature card. It's like when a new set comes out. Sometimes I don't read spoilers. I know why people read spoilers, but sometimes I don't read them, and it really sets you behind when you're playing. You sit there and read cards. Oh, did you guys hear Reed Duke won the Pro Tour on the weekend? Congratulations to Reed Duke. All right, Nesting Woe Fuel. Sacrifice the land. Target creature you control gains flying until end of turn. This effect lasts indefinitely. Oh man, no. It can't gain it until end of turn and still last indefinitely. There's no way. Get it out of here. I knew that was too good to be true. Whoa! Whoa, kids. Okay, what do we got here? Razorfin Partisan. I see. Let's take a look at this card. A 0/5 for 1 white and 2 Razorfin Partisan is a merfolk? Okay, we're gonna tag Nikachu in this one. When you cast a multicolored spell, Razorfin Partisan gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Whoa. This thing is insane. It's no +3/-3. I gotta look closely. When you cast a multicolored spell, it gets +3/-3. So you could use it as a combat trick, I guess. You'd want to like try and get in and then play like ionize or something. I guess that you could. So you could boost its front end. Hmm. It's missing what the stars are based on. You're right, Benson. It's totally missing. But this card's not. This card's missing a lot of clothing. But okay, the viewer rate just increased slightly. So I think we got to give this card a pass, except that it's in white. Can we have a white merfolk? Question for you folks, for the folks out there. I'll have to ask Nikachu. Can we have a white merfolk? Hmm. Can we have mono white merfolk? I don't know. I guess based on that, we got to give it a. Let's give it a fail. Yeah, we already have those. We have mono white merfolk. Came from Lauren and Morningtide. All right, well, if you say so, let's take it. I'll take us some mono white merfolk, and it's a good one. The Razorfin Partisan seems to be trending. Is now MTG Machine is now trending. All right, let's keep going. Mirror Shieldborn. I think Benson says we already have have them from Lauren and Morningtide, so we'll keep the Mirror folk. Check this out: Mirror Shieldborn, a blue and 2 for this 4/4 legendary Almonter Avatar. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 2 life. If you do draw a card, whenever you draw a card, you may pay 2 life. If you do draw a card, and it's flying a 4/4 for 3 mana, it's incredibly cheap. Wow! Look up the actual storybook Schoolmaster. Storybook Schoolmaster. See, this is why we love the show. There it is there. This is, can we say Stony Brook Schoolmaster? There it is there. Yes. The answer is yes, we can. Let's take it. Stony Brook Schoolmaster is definitely the equivalent of that. I just want to go back there for a second because that is like essentially what this card is. Crazy. So Razorfin Partisan. I guess we have mono white merfolk already. Whenever Stony Brook Schoolmaster becomes tapped, put a 1/1 blue merfolk token into play. Holy smokes. Benson, you just next leveled the magic game for me this morning. Thanks a bunch, folks. Why not? We could definitely give this a pass. Coach, the coach is in the house. Richie Dubs is back. Ah, it's good. Okay, we can positively. We already have white merfolk. It's fine. We play this with Stony Brook School Storyteller. Let's check it out. Mirror Shieldborn. What do we got here? This is a 4/4 flyer legendary that we were talking about. Let's see. This guy here, 4/4 for 3 mana. Oh, talk about talk about value these days. I could see. Good morning, Brody Licious. Thanks, coach, for joining us this morning. Can we give this card a pass? It's an elemental. It's an avatar. It's got good stats. I didn't read the second part of the card because had to backtrack. Necessarily, we had to backtrack to the white Merfolk card. But this one here, Mirror Shieldborn for 1 blue and 2, you get a flying 4/4. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 2 life. If you do draw a card, that seems fine. Whenever you draw, you get to pay a little extra and take another one. Pay 1. Remove a 1/1 counter from Mirror Shieldborn. Gain control of target creature. If a card was put into your graveyard from anywhere, scry 2. This is all over the place, but it doesn't have a way of putting a counter on itself. It just says if you remove one. So you remove if you can put a +1/+1 counter on it somehow. There's plenty of ways to do it. You could remove 1, gain control of target creature indefinitely, and then it's got this other bit of text on it. If a card was put in your graveyard from anywhere, scry 2. So I guess if you buff this up, you put a bunch of +1/+1 counters on it that you could remove in either situation where you wanted to gain control of something or scry. It could be pretty situational. I think we'll give it a pass. I don't see why not. It looks fine, doesn't it? It's just a little bit clunky on the second part of the card. The 4/4 flyer for 3 mana seems really good on its own, and then it's got this extra draw ability. All right, we'll take it. Soul Guildgate. I guess we got a bunch of these over the weekend, so why not? This thing is a Mardu. Do you say what Mardu? We got the Mardu. Soul Guildgate. 3/4 hasty, devour 2. It doesn't say wow, what does that mean? I think it means if it enters the battlefield, you gotta sacrifice 2 creatures. It could be another I think it's a made up mechanic. I think it's made up. I think they made this up. Whenever Soul Guildgate attacks, put a 2/1 counter on it. Wow! I've never seen a 2/1 counter. It gets Unholy Strength permanently. Wow, I like it. Good flavor. Hasty. The Devour card kind of doesn't make sense to me. I think based on that, we got to fail it. But other than that, good card. Let's give it a pass. Everything's rolling good this morning, so I mean, why mess with a good thing? Let's check out the art here real quick. Got a goblin ready to smash. Very cool. And then this guy, Devourer the Egg. This is another gobble card, hey? Hey. Target goblin creature gets 1/0 until end of turn. For blue, right? So what do we got here? Devourer of the Egg. You got a 4/4 for a 1 white and 7? Seems expensive. It's a dog. So the Devourer is this little red-eyed puppy dog here. Poor little guy. And target goblin gets 1/0 for 3 mana. Seems expensive. It is overpowered. I think you're talking about the other guy, but this Devourer of the Egg, it seems just really overcosted, but it's fine. There's nothing great about it. It's rare too. An 8 mana rare for a dog with a really hard to activate ability. Looks good in goblins. As soon as the dog ate that egg. Look at this. Too cute. Getting himself some breakfast. Oh, that looks good. He's having breakfast. He's like, hey. Cute are these little buddies are just happy to have a little breakfast, little scrambled eggs this morning for the Devourer of the Egg. Morning, folks. How you doing? There's 11 folks who are tuning in and 208 of you around the world who are checking out the channel this morning. We're just warming up a little bit here. We're ready to get going, get some folks in the house. What are we going to do today? We're going to look at this price of Hasbro stock. We're going to check that. Get a little coffee in our cup here this morning. We got 2 more of these AI generated magic cards to do. Then we're going to take a look over the stock desk. Now, the price of Hasbro stock was kind of just moving side to side. Well, let's go check it. Let's check it. Why not? Let's check it. Where are we here? Let's get my really epic pen out. Over the last day, we know that we were we were sitting here waiting for the fourth quarter earnings to come out, right? Been sitting here for about, well, even since before the new year, and you're like, well, nothing's changed. See, it's good at $59.36. That's where we're at today. Check the price here is trading day. I don't know. Some people say it was President's Day yesterday. I'm not sure. Is it President's Day yesterday? I don't know. But we were a holiday here, so regardless, I don't think there was any trading happening yesterday. I didn't check. It was family day. I was spending time with the family. So we still haven't seen much movement in the stock price. Based on what we got out of the... Stop clowning around, Brody. We still haven't seen much movement out of the stock price Hasbro since the release of the fourth quarter earnings. And that was sort of propped up. If you guys caught the February 17th stocks and talks, we talked about it here. We went through the entire the earnings report, listened to a couple of questions on the Q&A, discussed the ESG component of the earnings report, which in the cartoon version that we were looking at. So that was quite interesting. And we also heard from some of the bankers and the investors that were on board during that time. Now, we will listen to the question and answer. The long story short of it, if you're just tuning in, just a bit of a recap. Last Hasbro discussion on the 16th was regarding supply chain issues for the new year, and that has apparently been ironed out. And what do I mean by that? Well, if the last year seemed to have a pretty hectic pattern of releases, now is going to be all smoothed out, and we should have a slow trickle out, smooth release of products coming into the new year. They are expecting some bumpy quarters, predictably at least 1 or 2 quarters with a loss or two, and getting better by the end of the year. So this is the support level we've been watching, and it's going to take, like, this is a big ship. It's going to take a while to move. So I hope that you folks continue to tune in, and we're going to see what's going to happen throughout the rest of the year. With Hasbro stock, I'm going to check it each and every morning, and we're really waiting to see what products come out now that can introduce the new player base to Magic the Gathering with shiny cards. Like, if you're new to Magic and you saw an invention, if you're new to Magic and you saw a Kaladesh invention for the first time, you would probably be pretty amazed. Now, I was thinking about this the other day when the spoilers were released for the frame treatment that is going to be reused, the masterpiece frame, that the masterpiece frame is going to get reused on legendary creatures. So if you saw that, if you're new to Magic, and a lot of folks are, and you see that, you're going to say, I want to get me some of those masterpieces. I don't care if it's a reprint, okay? I don't care if it's a revisiting of an old treatment that was done on artifacts in Kaladesh. In fact, those Kaladesh artifacts are super expensive. If I could open one of those, that would be awesome. And before serialized inventions, right? So that's sort of the route that things are going, and we didn't know about that product. I don't think I did anyway, until before the earnings report come out. I just come to know about that. So it's going to be interesting to see what products, and I think this is when they hit the market with the good stuff. Like, leading up to Magic 30, we got 2 products. We got the 30th beanbag chair, right? That was and then we got like the 30th anniversary edition commemorative boosters, and then like all the products and sets in between. And people were sort of, there was like all this hype around what are we gonna see, and now it seems like they're gonna start rolling out some pretty epic products that are gonna be very, very cool. Okay, and interesting to new players. If you're new to Magic, this might be a product that you wanna get in on. Um, Let me know in the comments section. That's just what I think. But let me know in the comment section below if you guys do you like the new Kaladesh treatment, or do you like the new invention treatment on the legendaries? Is that something you're looking forward to? Let me know. Are you excited for masterpiece card frames? Curious to you if you guys are excited to get your hands on some of these masterpiece legendary creatures in the masterpiece treatments. I know lots of folks will be. I'd love to open some. In fact, I I would say they're probably collectible as like a whole set, right? Why not? You could probably buy them on pre-order for about 30-40 bucks. The Ragavan's going to be a little bit more, but see what I did with the Kaladesh inventions is we opened one of them. They were so awesome, and then like we're buying Kaladesh, and then opened another one, and then realized how hard they were to hit. And then it was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to the vendor store, and while they're this is when they were doing mass box openings, right? So maybe that is going to depend on how much of that stuff is opened. Interesting to see. News over the weekend. Reed Duke, Magic the Gathering Hall of Fame member, won the Phyrexia Pro Tour in Philadelphia, or Pro Tour Phyrexia, and is still at a loss for words. Totally overwhelmed by all the support. Thank you so much to everybody who reached out, watched the coverage, or just had fun playing MTG this weekend. So I want to give a thanks, shout out to Reed Duke. I should try and catch some of the replay. I wasn't watching the event, but that's a little bit of MTG news for you folks. Here, I gotta check the stock desk for a quick second. See if they got any news articles for us here this morning. Oh, do we want to look at the Hasbro earnings report? Why not? I got it up still here. This is the Hasbro earnings report. If you guys haven't seen it, here's a quick glance. I've got a couple of links in the video from the February 17th coverage that we did, a full length 1 hour discussion on that if you want to see the earnings report for yourself. It's 40, this one's 40 pages, and then not including the black and white. There's a lot of graphs, supplemental financial data. There's a lot of cartoon characters, and there's this part here about you, the consumer, and how it relates to Magic the Gathering. So if this is something that you haven't seen or heard of, and you're a player and you want to get to understand the company and the group of companies that own the brand, maybe a good article. That might be a good episode for you to watch. Check it out, the February 17th. Let's check the stock desk. We'll see if we got anything new at the stock desk. Oh, yes. Okay, so if you're with me over the weekend, I did a couple of card sorting videos, and I'm really perplexed at the moment because inside the buy list box, and there's a couple of things I keep on hand now that I started doing the show, is I got a pen and paper for when you folks start recommending cards that I look up and I'm like, hey, that's something I got to revisit. And right now I got Power Leech on. It's actually a life pad, but I got Power Leech on here. Just gonna put it on a little darker, and I got a buy list going over in the. I got a buy list going, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with a couple of copies of this card. So pretty interesting to see this card on the articles desk here. This morning, the Over Under by Harvey McGinnis. Harvey's a graduate student. I think Harvey's got a PhD, if I'm not mistaken. MTG Strategy and Finance account with MTG Stock. So we like the over under. We're going to read it. He's got Counterbalance featured in a picture and a card that I've talked about extensively over the weekend for at least a couple of hours. Got two copies that I'm thinking of putting in the buy list, the Old School Cold Snap and Crater Hoof Behemoth. Let's check it out. Let's go. This card, the Counterbalance card, is been going up in price crazily, mainly because it hasn't seen a reprint. But let's check out the over under from February 19th. Little recap from last month. We had Mindbreak Trap breaking new highs in the Magic the Gathering stock world, which is interesting to see. A trap card that lets you mill your opponent for. Oh no, this one's not the mill. That's the other one. This one's the. If an opponent casts 3 or more spells, you may pay 0 rather than pay its mana cost. This one's the one that. This one's the one that fights Storm. So last week, Mindbreak Trap was at the top of the list on the over-under, and Gaia's Cradle. All right, so let's read. Over the last month, Mindbreak Trap hasn't taken a moment to breathe. It rebounded a little bit. It's been starting to trend sideways, and I'll be honest, this is a stronger trend than I had in the first anticipated. Between negative market pressures and the limited overall demand for the card, Mindbreak Trap's limited price retrace and steady sideways drift meant that we'll likely be seeing more transactions at the $50 valuation for the immediate future. I still think this is an overvaluation of the card, but it looks to be steady for the moment. $50, you think it's too much? I don't know. Murray Cooper might have sent a couple of these trap cards to the buy list. They're fetching a premium right now, and if you folks have them, let me know in the comment section. Would you be buy listing this at 50 bones? I kind of think maybe. Unsurprisingly, we'll bring it to our next card here on the over-under. It's just a recap of last month before we get into the good stuff. Unsurprisingly, Gaia's Cradle has had very little movement since last check with it. The card has essentially had no momentum in either direction at the moment, but nonetheless has held up well over the broad market attrition experienced in the last year. Similar to Mindbreak Trap, I don't expect much to change soon with this card, but I would certainly keep an eye on it for future movement. This is an emblem of both a reserve list and a competitive play, so the card can certainly hold an important role in the market. I don't have this card. Disclaimer. Morning. Morning, sunshine. The sun is up on the Gaia's Cradle. So do you guys play a copy of the Gaia's Cradle? This card is kind of busted. It's $1,000. It's on the reserve list. And I don't see where the point is here. But nevertheless, I guess the point is it hasn't moved in price. All right, now we get to the stuff that, all right, with the recap out of the way, onto the overvalued pick of the month. Okay, so this is the over under. So it's overvalued cards. Like, so we're saying, guys, Harvey's saying, guys, Cradle's overvalued as well as Mindbreak Trap. So the next two cards on the list are overvalued cards. And I can't say that this is why I'm so perplexed. Maybe this is why I'm so perplexed about this card right now. Have two of them in foil. Savannah Lion. We're all upset about it yesterday. Sorry. Aw. I missed a comment. Let me check it. Goedemorgen. In the Netherlands. We got Netherlanders in the house. It's all good, Savannah. I hope you're having a good day, buddy. Ah, yes. You're talking about the masterpiece foils. Yeah, I was talking to Savannah Lion. I was chatting to Savannah Lion about the masterpiece treatments, right? So yeah, I took the comment and I started looking at it. I said, yeah, some people are excited about it, some people not. So it's understandable. It's perfectly okay. I love it. I would play Cradle if I had one. I would. No, thank you for joining Savannah Lions so much. Hit that no button if you're not excited about it. I get it, but I can see how like some newer players would be. Like I was excited the first time we got the invention frames. But I think it's neat the way they do things once and then leave it alone, but that's the thing. They can't help but touch themselves on this one. Let's take a look. Thanks for joining, Savannah. I had a recent video made dedicated to you, friend. I hope you enjoyed it. Put Savannah Lion in a little bit different light. And so tell me what you think about that one. I appreciate you. The King of the Jungle in old school and never to be outshined. Let's take a look at this counterbalance card. Them masterpieces, right? My friend, I'm sorry. It's sad to see you. It's sad to see you sigh, yes, sir. The Harvey's saying that the counterbalance card is overvalued, and I see why he's saying that. It makes sense. It's been creeping up in price, and I bought this card years ago when it was also very high in price. Now, to get a little bit of an idea what I'm talking about, like a card like this, bannings affect the game. Like we haven't seen a good banning in a while, right? Like when was the last time we had a good old fashioned banning? Yeah, we were looking at Sun Cleanser yesterday. I thought it might take poison counters off, but it can take. See, here's a card. Sun Cleanser. Target opponent loses all counters. That player can't get counters as long as Sun Cleanser remains on the battlefield. This can cleanse your opponent, not yourself. Okay, so cards that are overvalued. This is a card. It's up to 138 bucks, and I've been watching the buy list. This is why I do the buy listing videos. Okay, I do the buy listing videos, and Stefan says don't trade either one of them. He says keep. He's a fella who's a cosmic, is a fella who keeps like tabs on like old school original foils. So this one is a nice foil. I'm overbought on this in the first place. So I bought it when Sensei's Divining Top was still legal in Legacy. And if we go back here, right around the Amonkhet and the Kaladesh era, right around here, this is where this is where Counterbalance was played in Legacy very heavily in the Miracles deck. It had a really good lifespan in the deck. It was a uh, great idea of a build. But Sensei's Divining Top gets banned right around here, and the price of this card tanks, and it's tanked ever since. But people have found other ways to build the Miracle Shell, not revolving so heavily around Sensei's Divining Top. So it's safe to say that Counterbalance is also a cornerstone part of that deck that we'll see play. And this card will always command a few bucks because of the fact that it's the original. Okay, so let's talk about it. I want to hear from you about this. So is this card overvalued right now? Another piece of counter magic like dear old Mindbreak Trap counterbalances here is an example of a card that hasn't had a printing in quite a long time. Not seeing the light of day as a masterpiece from Masterpieces and Amonkhet Invocations. So we did have two stabs at the masterpiece. They obviously went back. See, it's funny that Hasbro isn't go. See, it's like this whole let's admonish the player base. It's like we don't like the Amonkhet Invocations because we can't read them, right? So which foil treatment did they go back to? They certainly didn't go back to this one, nor should they ever. But they're going back to the standard masterpiece treatment because it's nice. It worked. People liked it. So this was reprinted as a masterpiece in the invocation cycle, the ugliest invocations we ever seen, and the prices most definitely reflects that. At nearly 35 bucks, Counterbalance is a card we normally expect to see quite a deal of play in order to demand such a premium, but that's not the case here. Counterbalance isn't modern legal, and it has long been outclassed in Legacy. And the variety of average mana values throughout Commander decks lists means that it can't be nearly as reliable or as oppressive as it was in 60 card formats. This means that the price of Counterbalance is far more supply oriented, as the $30 floor, which has been testing in recent weeks, is primarily supported by a scattered stream of small purchase orders, not the rampant cluster buys which are often associated with breakout competitive success. The data for this public courtesy of TCG Player's sale history snapshot. Supply issue. Okay, so what Harvey is suggesting here is that the supply of this card is really low, and that's what's pushing the price up. Not because it's seeing play, and Commander is obviously not driving this card. It's played in 60 card formats, and rightfully so. This is from an era before Commander was the main thing driving sales and development for RNG. So Counterbalance would see that it's only seen a single reprinting, and it's a supply issue. But supply issues aside, it's more important to address the elephant in the room. Secret Lair, several weeks ago, Counterbalance began its price upswing, gradually drifting noticeably higher past the pre-spike sale of $25. So Secret Lair, maybe that's putting a price tag on it, right? That pushes it up. About halfway into, I'm not surprised. I did not know that they had a Secret Lair of this. I know it now. Counterbalance Secret Lair reprint, right? Yeah. Now the price ramifications of these. About halfway into this swing, it was announced that Counterbalance would be getting a Secret Lair reprint. Now the price ramifications of these sorts of reprints usually take a while to sort themselves out, but by the time new copies of Counterbalance hit the market, one thing is certain. There will be more copies out there, and along with it, the floor price will likely falter. So as tempting as the recent upswing may make these seem, I wouldn't be buying Counterbalance on the secondary market right now. I have two original cold snap foils. They're paying $85 a piece on the buy list. I tempted to trade them in and get something, or at least one of them, trade it in and get something from the reserve list. So on this note, I don't feel it's funny, like what feeling you get when you see a card in the news that you have. Is it too hot to handle? Brody, you got to get rid of it. It's just got to get rid of it. It's so hot. You better sell it before it goes down. That's what the market's telling me. That's what the computer machine, the internet machine, it's all counterintelligence, right? It's like what you would think. Price memory on the card. I can look up what I paid for it, and it's retraced now to roughly what I paid for it when top was legal. Next up on the list as an over next. Oh, this is next up our undervalued pick. So Harvey's claiming Counterbalance is the overvalued, Craterhoof is the under, and the Behemoth Boy has been among the quintessential Commander cards for a while now. Big green flashy game-ending beast. Counterbalance had a handful of reprints, each time causing the card's price to earn Crater for a short while, only to gradually drift back up to a stable price right afterwards. Right now, it looks like the Craterhoof is starting to have its upswing again, courtesy of Premium Trends feature here at MTG Stocks. The Crater Behemoth was selected as being an excellent candidate for continued upward price trajectory. I don't have a Craterhoof, and if I were to get one, I'll show you the one that I want to get. It's this one, just because it's this one. The one with the kid's art on it, because it's hilarious and it's cute and it's the most unintimidating version. So Craterhoof is the undervalued trend card, meaning that each end of Craterhoof's Behemoth's price is getting support pressure. Unlike cards like Counterbalance and Mindbreak Trap, both of which have had short bursts of dramatic upward price pressure followed by a rebound contraction, Craterhoof Behemoth has had stable sideways price trajectory for nearly a year, followed by its current month-long period of gradual upwards in mobility. This means that each end of the Craterhoof Behemoth price is getting support pressure as the price floor drifts higher to the new average price. Craterhoof hasn't retracted yet, and given its reprint history, doesn't have any indicators pointing to a collapse anytime soon. So if you haven't ended a game by slamming down a Craterhoof yet, now is a good time to pick up a copy, as it is historically expensive as a Commander card. Wrapping up, Harvey wants to tell us that since we last looked at the market, tides are starting to shift and prices in the Magic card world are stabilizing, and again, some more drift upwards. Mindbreak Trap had its first contraction, price spiking. God's Cradle continued to stay nearly on the $1,000 mark. The overvalued pick is Counterbalance, and it looks like the crash is imminent, courtesy of Secret Lair reprint. While our undervalued price pick, Raider Hooth Behemoth, was picked up by our premium analytics as an excellent example of natural price growth. Thanks, Harvey, for an amazing video or another amazing article from the stock desk. I find it interesting that they call the counterbalance card overvalued. Interesting. I'm wondering, where's Tom Mitchell? Anybody want to give us something to go on here? It's Tuesday. What do we want to look at here? We got movers and the shakers for you folks here this morning. We're moving, we're shaking. We're going to run a list here. Counterbalance is not really friendly kitchen table. No doubt it is not. The Halo Foil Monkey. Let's look at a couple of comments here, folks. What are we going to do on the list here this morning? I wanted to play Knight of the Reliquary and Gitrog deck since I built it. Did you guys see there was like a Thalia and the Gitrog monster card? I thought that was crazy. I don't know if it's real yet. Make it breakfast. Tom Mitchell, where are we running? What are we running? I knew it. He's making some brekkie. What do we want to look at here? Yeah, Yargle and Multani and Thalia and Gitrog, right? I like that card. Nothing in the MTG multiplayer pool will stand Yargle and Multani and Thalia and Gitrog, right? Yeah, Crater Hoof is a game ender. I've been Crater Hoof so many times. It seems like a fair card. If you get Crater Hoof, you can't really complain. It's like you got all that mana and you had creatures. Standard, buddy. It's standard day, standard morning. Tom Mitchell, thanks for the tips. We're running standard this morning. Let's get on with the amazing movers and the shakers. It was taken the top slot this morning on the standard list. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Here's a card whose token is worth quite a bit of money. It's at the top of the list is $20, and it's from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. At the very top of the list this week on Tuesday, February 21st, we got the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This saga, it enters the battlefield. It's 3 mana. It's a red and 2. It's played in decks such as Rakdos Midrange. In Pioneer, it's played in Mardu midrange and standard, in Jund midrange and standard. So here, let's take a look at the standard deck. Running it, Mardu midrange with Giada, the Font of Hope. Inspiring. Oh, she's cute card. Oh, 2/2 Angel. Okay, inspiring. This is a cute card too. Angel Claire. What a cute deck. Oh, it's got all the cute artificers. 2/1s. It's like, oh, it's, yeah. Oh, no, not so cute. Sholdred's not cute. Okay. And Elf Norn, Mother of Machines, Mardu midrange. So this is the top end of the Mardu deck here, Elish Norn. And the Sanctum Warden. So we got the low to the ground, just the the 2-drop, the 3-drop, the low to the ground 2/1s and the 2/2s, and then we ramp up with a 3/4 flyer, and then a Sholdridge, and then Elish Norn for the win at this point, and then the Eternal Wanderer. It's interesting to see the Wandering without the hat on, right? Who got to make that decision? The Eternal Wanderer. Kind of cool. Okay, let's check it out. We got Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's $20.71. How much is the token? And I want to look at this. So number 1 is create a 2/2 Goblin Shaman creature token with whenever this creature attacks, you get a treasure. That's really good. It's got a Ragavan on it. So then there's you may discard 2 cards if you do draw that many. Discard 2 and draw 2. And then Exile this saga, return to the battlefield, transform under your control, and then you get the 2/2. Goblin Shaman. I know that the token. I wonder, how do you look up tokens on here? It's hard to look up a token, but I know the token's worth a couple of bones. It's kind of expensive. How high is this? It's still going up. I guess they like the treasure token. Like, why not? All right, we'll take it. What's the second off the top? What's up in standard today? If you're going to your local game store, you want to open this beside you because he's still in standard. If you're opening, now's a really good time to be cracking packs and playing limited, I think. But beside you who are endurers, these $30 lands in standard make me nervous. This is the one you can channel, and this channel effect is busted. I've seen if there's a couple of mechanics that I think have changed the game of Magic strongly and had an effect on the mechanics of the game in the last 2 years. The channel mechanic for one, and then now with the printing of Toxic, I think Toxic is definitely something that's altered the game state and a little bit of the mechanics of the game. And why channel though? Because it's not casting a spell. It's pretty hard to respond to it. It's essentially like morph. It's not something you can interact with very easily. So let's say we are excited. Oh, everybody says no, we're not. Oh wow, 69 votes, 63% not excited for the masterpiece foils. I would have guessed the other way. Okay. If you took away the fact it makes tokens, just the fact that it tutors a 0 or 1 drop artifact, it's really good. Hmm. Urza Saga is a house. Yes, Urza Saga. Yeah, it's really good. And hey, Arliss, good morning. I didn't know like if you Thespian stage and Urza Saga on the second. So these lands are busted. We're talking about beside you. It's second off the top. It taps for a green, and then it's got this part on it. It's a legendary land. You pay 1 green and 1, discard it, destroy an artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. And then like with the new land that's out there, I opened it this weekend. There's one in Phyrexia that says you can play lands from your graveyard. So they kind of go together, don't they? Right? So what's that new one? The new green land. You could play lands from your great That's a Crucible land. There's another Crucible land. So you can discard them beside you and you play the Crucible land and then you can just play it out of the graveyard. Well, I must say it's hard to be excited about all the stuff they're coming out with constantly. I know, it's just like this. It's this fatigue. It's this excitement fatigue. It's like they want your adrenaline up to here at all times. Don't do 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 do. You know what's funny is if you look at the Twitter machine, I think it's interesting. If you look at the Twitter machine and the problems that the folks over there are trying to solve, it's more concerning like the watermark on the back of the card. Storm Carved Coast. This card's going up. I think I opened one of these. Well, a land that I might not have been too excited to to open in Crimson Vow, but this is the Is It land? Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. 2 or more other lands. So you got to have at least 2 or more other lands for this not to suck. All right, so situational, $11.78. Ride the wave can be rough. By the way, a note on multiverse mom cards: machine and draft and set boosters contain 1 multiverse legends card, and the collector booster have at least 3. Collector boosters a better hit, eh? Sell cards over $100. That usually what I do and has worked out for me for 4 years. Okay, so like the uh the counterbalance reaching $100 is kind of expensive, right? I do want to try and see. So now that we know that Wizards is predicting some bumpy earnings for the next couple of months, it's going to be interesting to see what their product lines. They're going to really have. This is when they're going to start pushing all these products on the Loran, fourth from the top. $7 for Loran. I want to get a good store credit so that when we have some sales later on in the year, I can pick up some older stuff, some old school stuff on discount, like Power Leech. Vigilance, 2-1. Enters the battlefield, destroy an artifact or enchantment. You and target opponent each draw a card. She's good. Decks using Loran mono white mid range in standard. Mono white's a deck. Cool. She's a Savannah Lions, isn't she? Right? She's a 2-1, but she costs 3, so she's not that good. Sarah Paragon, Anointed Peacekeeper, Cathar Commando, Ambitious Farmhand. Cute. These little 3-1s and 2-1s and 3-3s and 1-1s. The seasoned Cathar. Huh. Cute card. So Loran's in mono white mid range. Titania, Voice of Gaia. This is the green one. I try to hold all stuff reserve list. Yeah. Gave you a sub fish. Seen you all around. Your stuff is dope. Gotta go. Got some work to do. Peace, love, and greets to you, Savannah Lion. Thanks for joining us here this morning. I feel you, man. I feel you. Hang in there. I'm glad you're joining us here on the channel. Appreciate your comments in the comment section, buddy. Thanks for joining. Safe adventures. Titania, the Voice of Gaia, fifth from the top. This is the legendary creature Elemental. This cost you, and then $12.82. Whenever one or more land cards put in the graveyard from anywhere, you gain 2 life. So if you channel a land, you gain 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more land cards in your graveyard and you both own and control Titania, Voice of Gaia, and a land named Argoth, Sanctum Nature, exile them and meld them into Titania. She melds into Titania, Gaia Incarnate. Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Haste. Power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. Enters the battlefield. Return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and pay 4 to put 4/1/1 counters on a land. It becomes an elemental with haste. OMG. Omnath. Is it? Yeah, it's got to be an elemental, right? Yeah, elemental avatar, creature elemental, of course. And there's another Omnath. I hear we're getting another Omnath, right? That's another thing that I noticed. There is another Omnath coming out. Some old things are better than new, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm starting to get into some old stuff. A little more. Sereth, the Viper's Fangs. Okay, this Warlock, human Warlock. It looks like almost like a Gargan. Legendary creature, human Warlock. Other creatures you control have Death Touch. Tap creatures you control have Death Touch. So when you swing, it gets Death Touch. When it's untapped, they have Hexproof. That's good. It's like Sylvan Carotid. All your stuff becomes a Sylvan Carotid. Time Capsule. What's up? Got all the folks in the house here this morning. Thanks, guys, for joining us here this morning. It's awesome. Tuesday. Why did it take 10 or more years to get an Urza card and a Titania card? I think it's funny because it's a double-edged sword, because like if they hadn't have cranked out the products at the rate that they did, how long would it have been to see these characters? Like it's just they were sitting on a lot of the IP and not developing the game with it. But so now we have all these characters. So on the one hand, when you crank out sets, you get to release more characters, but on the other hand, you crank out sets, there's just too many sets. I think there's a balance, a way to do it with releasing enough characters in a timely enough manner with sets and not holding back too much. I don't see how somebody could play Magic for 30 years and just finally get an Urza. Or, you know, it's like 30 years into Magic, you can finally play Titania. It doesn't make sense. Like, all right. So Sareth, the Viper's Fang, expensive card here this morning. I'm going to have to keep pushing this morning. I do. Police are going to be at the door here. Igiano, the Seat of the Empire. See, here's another channel land that we like. $5. I got to pick up all the channel lands, and I was hoping Beside You would come down a little bit in price, but I don't think it's going to. This one is the one that deals 4 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. It costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. I like that. You know, I've been trying to build with cards like Baral, Asmo Kaldakar, and Emery. Any of the 1 or 2 mana legendary creatures that make these channel lands cost less, I think they're really good. This probably played in mono white mid range and standard. Yes, it is. It's removal. It's a land. You can't really interact with it. The blind seer is Urza's printed in Invasion. The blind seer. I gotta check that out. Blind Seer. Ah. I think he sees more than he lets on. Ah, yes. The 3/3. Target spell or permanent becomes the color of your choice. Very cool. I love the lore. We're here for more. Benson, thank you for that. I've been playing for 30 years and I don't even own a single power. The channel lands are great. I think the price for many of them is low, mainly because they're used all formats. Ajanjo, Seed of the Empire. It's definitely a card. And then the Lily of the Veil. Time capsule, no power. 30 years, no power. Do you place... you know, when I started playing, it's so hard to know. We wanted Soul Ring more than Lotus. It was like there was that continuous argument about Soul Ring being better than Black Lotus. And some people say it is. Like, turn 1 Soul Ring is like... gets you way more mana in a game of Magic than Black Lotus ever will. Because by the time you get to turn 3, it's made you 6. That's 2 Black Lotuses, right? So it's hard to say. We chased like the Soul Ring. We really thought it was a lot better. Liliana of the Veil. So we stayed away from them. We looked for other cards that were like cheaper, right? Liliana of the Veil, legendary. I just, this is the version, like out of all the versions that we got this one. We got the grandma version. We got the we got the original version. We got all the versions in between. Lily's $20. I can't believe this card. Yeah, I'm not surprised it went from 50 all the way to $20. Gonna have a tough time selling this card. Sorry. When the OG Lily is just awesome. And even this Dominaria United one, I mean, somebody tried to hype this to me in a store when I went in there. Like, look, and Lily of the Veil's been reprinted. And I'm like, oh, okay. This doesn't, I still like the other one better, but okay, cool. I guess if you didn't have one, this would be a way to get it. Hullbreaker Horror. One last card for the list here this morning. This guy here is a bomb in standard. I used to play it. I played it in limited, and it's a Kraken Horror. This is $3. Can't be countered. 7/8. When you cast it, choose one target spell. You return target spell you don't control the owner's hand. And the other part of it is you return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So people were blinking this in standard. It's a real pain in the butt to deal with. I can't say it enough. Can be countered. It's a finisher. $3.20 to get it into the collection. Well, folks, that's it for me. Cops are at the door. If you're here, Appreciate you folks for joining. It's been a slice. Wherever you're tuning in from around the world, appreciate the patrons and the free trends for joining us. A little bit of morning magic talks and some magic stocks. Good way to start your day. Smash Jackson, Garrett Jotter, Dusty Cully, Murray Cooper, Coin Pomeroy, Tyler Friesen, Tyler Harrison, Kyle Mears, The Moxman, Benson, Time Capsule, Fish Games, Prime 406, Mr. DJ Long, Tom Mitchell, Coach, thanks for coming to all my games, Savannah Lion, Richie Dubs, Whittler's in the house, Michael Superbacker. Did we say Richie Dubs? We can say it again. It's fine. Johan Matuzzi, all the way from Sweden. Thanks for joining this morning. It's great to have you with. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.